We don't have to tell you, it is cold out there, but before you bundle up, don't forget about your furry friends.
Here with some helpful tips is veterinarian Dr. Heather Loenser and her Bernese mountain dog, Jasper. We could hear Jasper panting right there.
I know. I think he's getting a little hot in his coat, but he needs it this time of year, as do a lot of other dogs that are small or puppies that don't have a very thick coat, because I'm seeing a lot of cold dogs in the ER right now.
This is our first tip. You say actually dogs need coats.
They do. The little guys certainly do, and Jasper has arthritis, so it gets stiff, and he really does need to be kept extra warm. He's also wearing boots, too, which really help with the traction on the ice.
And the salt out there. What about, your other tip is salt melt?
Yeah, try to get some safe salt melt. I really like this. It's actually salt-free, and there's very few things in life that are very safe, but this is actually one of them. It's called Safe Paw. You should see if your neighbors and your store owners can use it, too.
Right, but that's, in a lot of places, that's difficult. You don't know what people are going to put out. And so you say those melting agents like salt really hurts dogs' paws.
It can really dry them out, and if they lick it or eat too much of it, it can make them sick.
Oh, I feel bad. I see them kind of like wobbling around on it.
I know, and power outages are a huge deal. It's certainly in my neck of the woods, so plan for power outages. People sometimes forget about that.
So what would you do for a pet for power outages?
Make sure you have enough food and water for at least a week. Most dogs and cats drink an ounce per pound per day of water. So do the math on that. Jasper actually needs 8 cups a day of water.
Wow.
And then if your power goes out, your electric fence could go out, like your invisible fence. So have leashes around to make sure that they don't run off.
That's a good
And
tip.
then diabetic dogs that have to have insulin or other medicine that stays in the fridge, this can really heat up and it doesn't work anymore. And so if you have a diabetic dog, or a dog with heart failure, seizures, or asthma, any of those medicines, if you run out of those and you can't get to your vet for a while, you could have a life-threatening situation on your hands.
And along those lines, you say update the first aid kit as well.
Yes, and so everyone thinks of bandages, which is fantastic, but a great tip is actually using something like an old, thick sock, slide it over top of a foot that maybe it got cut on the ice, and use duct tape and just wrap it around and use it as a bandage. I saw one of these just last week.
And quickly, what about for pets that are generally kept outside, outdoor dogs?
Yeah, I'd rather have animals inside, but I get it, it's not a reality for all. So make sure they have a warm, dry place off the ground, especially cats. If they're looking for a warm place to go, sometimes they go up under the hood of your car, sleep on your engine block, and when that fan belt goes on,
not a good idea.
No, it's a big injury.
Heather Loenser, thank you very much. Great tips. Jasper, thanks for coming in this morning.